Tzeentch here for every Avensa Stronghold blue team. YZ is a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive commander, lottery manipulation and control abilities. He begins in melee combat and has a Thousand Suns elite scheme on some hooded heretics over here. Alongside two Force commanders, first up is Reg9678. We also have Checkpoint08. These guys are melee heroes with strong offense, can also tank, disrupt and support with buffs. Looks like these guys are using the same custom scheme, so that's going to be nice and confusing for me. Red team, E1 as an Inquisitor, offensive commander with awesome control abilities, begins in melee combat but can get ranged weapons, a little bit of support about it too. Couple of Eldar. Crog is a Farseer support commander that fights in melee combat, awesome buffs with some debuffs and control abilities too. And rounding us off here is Mahror as a Warlock, melee hero, can leap into combat, some powerful spells giving disruption, support and offense. Up against the Force commander on the east side, mid is Force commander versus Farseer, which is very quiet so far. Eldar should be pushing in on that fight, I think. Maybe that Force commander's battle cry is making him think twice. Chaos Sorcerer is taking some damage. Sentinel is up for E1. Banshees all round and double scouts all round, so I might see a bunch of shotguns coming out. There's one from Checkpoint, none from Reg yet. What are you spending your power on then, fella? Nothing I can see so far. Farseer using her fleet to get into combat quicker, tying up those tactical marines. Now the Banshees can close in without too much shots aiming at their faces, and those power weapons very effective against the heavy armor of those tactical marines. Scouts might get wiped. Nope, shotgun blast saves them. Those Banshees lost all but one model, but they do get away. Force commanders doing their thing. Warlock thrown aside. Went in a bit too heavy there, the Eldar. Should have kept the Dire Avengers at a bit more of a distance, especially when those Banshees got forced off. Instantly pulled back your Dire Avengers a little bit, I think. Try and force down these scouts. Looks like they got the Force commander out of there pretty sharpish. He's gone down, in fact. That was Mind War, was it? It was. Ghost Helm is up for the Farseer. Does damage and suppression on demand. It's a really good ability. She's kind of spoilt for choice, the Farseer. I think the way she's built is pretty interesting to see from game to game. She's got tons of great abilities to call upon in all tiers. Sentinel's going to be okay, I think. Double Guardsmen there to repair. Double Heretics for YZ. We do have grenade launchers up for one of them. The other squad in their default melee state, getting consumed by the Sorcerer. That gives us some health and energy back. Poor Heretics. What's going on over here? Banshees moving up to cap. We do have this natural power on both sides for either team that's very hard to hold on Avensa Stronghold. You see YZ having a poke at the red one over here. So it's really very, very vital that you hold on to this power and don't lose that, because this one is going to get bashed a lot most likely, unless you're dominating that side really hard. 2-1 early on here for blue team. Banshee's getting in. There's the Warcry suppressing nearby units. Aspect of fleetness is up. A little bit messy there from YZ. Should have been a bit quicker to pull out, I think, when he saw both players on him. It's so tempting to stay in and try and do what you can, though. Need a lot of discipline with that. Judging engagements and pulling out when needed. That node goes down. Some bolter fire here. Double scouts up from Reg, but no shotguns, no sergeant, no snipers. I guess he wanted his power on the well, what? Oh, he's gone for Chainsword and Storm Shield. Been a while since I've seen this up in a team game. It's really cool though. As you can see there, defendability, which gives suppression immunity and a nice 50% reduction in range damage. That will help perhaps come tier 2, especially when Dark Reapers and Wraithguard and stuff might start hitting the field, and Warp Spiders, all that kind of thing. East side, VP is uncapped. These Shuriken Cannon fellas are in trouble. Looks like they got jumped by submarines. Banshee's there to counter-initiate, eat a shotgun blast, but they're going to get up and be a threat here, I think. No, they're not. They are forced to retreat. Warlock with his Merciless Witchblade, a fantastic tier 1 weapon. Was recently nerfed a little bit in that it no longer has a power melee special attack, which was always kind of fun and weird, but that's been removed. Guess it's just a regular melee damage attack now on his special. Champion's Robe on the way too. See the Holy Brazier, that's the Holy Pyre going off, and Rosarius up for the Inquisitor. Can she get away though? taking a lot of damage here. Does get away, gives her a 50 DPS power melee weapon as well, in addition to that very nice Holy Pyre. Banshees might try and get around. No, they're backing off. Blue team looking kind of strong here on the west side. Double tactical marines from Reg. Double scouts, and now starting to get shotguns up. Force Commander also got his Artificer, so he's going to be pretty damn tanky with this shield as well. The shield also gives him 100 hit points. It used to give him a passive range damage reduction to himself. I'm pretty sure. I guess that was removed at some point. 2-1 cap for blue team. Rangers on the field here for Crog. Countered relatively nicely by that Chainsword and the Storm Shield, but it's not in play right now. Sorcerer has no war gear. Doom bolts flying in though, doing a big chunk of damage to that Sentinel. Sentinel needs to be careful with double tactical marines that can both use their Kraken bolts, not to mention the CSM. Could go down pretty sharpish. They're bashing the power here, as you can see. What's going on east side though? Space Marines pushing through. Warlock in a little bit of trouble, puts up his Champion's Robe briefly, but it soon dissipates because he's got no energy to power it. Banshees don't want to move in on that. They could run up this side and go after this VP here. Kind of ignore the power defense. Here comes a Shuriken. Set up team with this suppression weapon. Banshees getting stuck in. Oh, drop pod tactical marines called in for checkpoint. You see the distort field for the Banshees there. Global ability of the Warlock. Still a 2v2 fight on this west side. They are forcing the action to take place on this west side where the red team's natural victory point is. Red team need to try and shake them off. Artillery spotters are up. Incendiary shells is queued up for tier 2. That also gives them an upgraded version of their regular mortar shell, I believe. Upgrading its damage. More consuming from the Sorcerer. Red team taking this opportunity to send something to mid quite rightly and cap that contested victory point while it's nice and quiet over there. Merciless Switchblade doing some work, but can he defend the power? Down go two of the gens. Double shotguns in play. There's one. Not using it on the Warlock, maybe because they won't be able to knock him down. But there it went off. Sorry, he wasn't knocked over because he had the shield up, but it did suppress him. Such a pain in the arse though, that leap gets right back in your face and takes out a Marine there. Then big chunks of damage. I believe it's 130 per hit, is it? It's 65 DPS. It does attack quite slowly. Big chunks of damage. Great for chasing units. When you're able to only get a hit every few seconds or so. When it's a big chunk, it really helps peel off those models. Generator is replaced, but he's... Oh, big retreat there from Checkpoint. I guess he wanted to reevaluate and reform his army. What you got, Miss Farseer? You've got the rune armor. Sergeants up all round for Reg. Noise Marines in tier 2 for YZ. Manticore for E1. Krog has had a tough end of tier 1. Looks like he's got Rangers up and Dire Avengers up. Lost his Banshees. What else did he? I think he had another Dire Avenger squad as well. 1-to-1 cap here. Sentinel getting the missiles up pretty early. Don't see that very often. Usually it's seen as kind of a luxury purchase you'll get after you've got more important heavy hitters out in tier 2. But doing some work here. Bad news for those heretics. That's for sure if they get hit by it. Look at that. Holy crap. Without their aspiring champion, they are so vulnerable to any kind of area of effect like that. Havoc's in play, doing their thing, suppressing. So there's that Sentinel again, doing some work. Good early purchase from E1. Inquisitors still level 1. Edging forward are the red team going after this power here. Rangers getting their Pathfinder gear, which gives them an array of upgrades, really. The hollow field stuff allows them to infiltrate. More energy regen. Damage of their rifle. Splash damage to connect pulse. And reduces the cooldown. Massive amount of stuff. Power bashing on the other side too. Thanks to these Marines, these guys have... Oh, these guys are Stone Guard veterans, in fact. First Company Tactical Marines that can load all sorts of ammo into their bolters to do some damage to all targets. Missile launcher also. I guess he's expecting the vehicle, and a vehicle is coming for Mahror. It's a Wraith Lord, which is going to be a big threat to these Assault Marines, but there is that missile launcher there to do some work. Not to mention the Stone Guard with their Vengeance rounds. Falcon is up. Those guys loading their Vengeance rounds in, trying to go after it. That's extra damage to Super Heavy and vehicles on these guys now. We also have some more Stone Guard veterans for Checkpoint. Hellfire rounds loaded in. Damage over time to light infantry and heroes. Force commanders persuaded to leave. Here comes the Wraith Lord. Where's that missile launcher? I guess it's gone back mid, has it? Boom. There's that swing. Melter bomb is gone. Slowing down this big guy, but they should be able to maybe put some pressure on his power. I guess the power's bashed already over there. Blue team do have this power though, and this one, so they have some decent power income still. Plague Marines up for YZ. Can do some cool stuff with his warp to get them into position and all sorts of cool stuff. Stormtroopers on the way for E1. Not seen the Manticore go off yet. I'm sure it has though. Could do some nasty things in combination with a sail on the Inquisitor, especially if multiple Terminators show up later on. All of the blue team's heroes have access to them. Plasma Cannon gets a good shot in. Sacred Standard is up for the Force Commander. It's level 2. He's like a pure support Force Commander. Pretty cool to see. Falcon doing some work. Does the Plasma Cannon get away? There's stuff in retreat path, including a Warlock, who I don't think is going to have enough to finish him. No, Plasma Cannon gets away with 9 hit points. Maybe a Destructor might have finished him off there. 2-1 cap for blue team. They haven't lost a victory point off their counter yet. Falcon is taking hits. Wow, big hit there. There's Dark Flames too. Won't hurt the Falcon much. Manticore goes off. Makes things split. Gets the Noise Marine out of there. At least helps to. Stormtroopers on the front line. Not really where you want them. To utilize that range if you can. These guys have their assault kit. Sorcerer goes down. No sign. Oh, we do have Dark Creepers up from Crog right here. Big damage to heavy and super heavy armor. Should be targeting the CSM or the Havocs maybe. Pinning fire allows them to suppress as well. The pressure continues up the east side for the blue team. Strong infantry armor here, supported by a Librarian too. Teleporting Force Commander with his hammer. Bad news for the Banshees, but a Wraith Lord can get stuck in on him. Maybe get him off the field quickly. Warlock can try and keep him knocked over as well, or just drain his energy. Looks like he's going for these Marines. Nice special attack. As you saw, that special attack is super cool because it triggers twice. So if you dodge the first trigger of it, he swirls his Witchblade around again and can get you a second time. Banshee's dealt with though pretty easily there, to be honest. Wraith Lord, I'm not sure where he went. Should have been targeting the Force Commander or the Librarian or just one of these guys. There's that Melter. Here comes another Wraith Lord from Mahror. This is pretty fun. What are you going to do now, Mr. Checkpoint? You've got a Melter Bomb and a Missile Launcher, but that's 2 Wraith Lords in your face. You need to get Devastators up, surely. Boom. Power Fist is pretty tempting too. He's already spent on his Thunder Hammer though. And it's doing some work for him too. West side now. That's the Incendiary Shell from the Spotters. There's a Manticore. Gonna get the Havocs out of there. Good hits. But things are mostly okay. Do you have the Storm Eagle upgrade? You do. More damage but a longer cooldown, I think. Doesn't say that on the tooltip though. Where are the Dark Creepers? They are right here. Don't have their aspects. Force Commander is suppressed by the Mind Warp. Big running firefight on this west side. with each side occasionally coming to cap this VP. Sorcerer now capping the power. They've really struggled to shrug the blue team off them, I should say. Not really built for these sustained firefights, Eldar. Need to get in, do the damage, get out. Much easier said than done. Where's those double Wraith Lords? Looks like he's pushed up and he's capped this power. Could get some nice power income now if they gen up all three of these power points. Because double Wraith Lords is a big pain in the arse for Checkpoint. Predator tank on the way though for Reg. And a Chaos Predator tank for YZ. Tier 3 though for Crog and E1. In fact, Seer Council on the field. Here they are. Elite power melee squad. Can leap into combat and provide very nice passive buffs to themselves and surrounding allies. There's a 15% range damage reduction. And it's quite decent range on it too, I think. Look. See these stormtroopers getting affected from over here. Can Red Team use this to push? The Seer Council is certainly going to help. Have nice mobility too. Alongside those Banshees can be a massive threat. Because the Banshees of course get buffed. Mahror bringing his Banshees over here. It looks like they are going to split up. 455, 197. Big VP lead for the blue team. Have Red Team left this too late? Falcon doing some work. It's got the shield on it. Makes it very tough to deal with. Does lower its speed though. It's a tier 3 upgrade. Double tanks. Now they need to respond to that. Manticore will do a lot of damage to them. Falcon's in a little bit of trouble. I mean, do they have what it takes? AV says Crog. Indeed. You could get the Singing Spear. Put guide on yourself. Do some work that way. 452, 187. You can of course put guide on the Manticore as well as it's firing, which would be pretty fun. Need some communication perhaps to do that though. Here come double tanks to shoot down Wraith Lords. And this guy's got a las cannon now. Banshees though with their spear putting pressure on. This tank might be in trouble. It might get the kill and then it might go down. Wraith Lord trying to help. Big swings from that Ghostglaive sword. Predator realizing it's in trouble moves away. Wraith Lord still in threat though. Wraith Lord goes down. It was the Chaos Predator that finished it off. Here comes a Falcon. Falcon do good damage to all targets. Can they chase down this Predator tank? I think they can. Got a slither of health left. Down it goes. Can they deal with both of them? That would be a massive win for the red team. Falcon's a threat. 440 to 187 on the VPs. Force Commander. I think he got pinned by the Dark Creepers, yeah. That's why I was suppressed there briefly. West side, meanwhile, red team pushing through, bashing power now. What level is this fella? He's level 2. Parkins always seem to do a fantastic job once they get tier 3 and get that shield upgrade. What is this thing? Oh, that's the artillery shell that gives them vision, I think. So why did they put fire nowhere? Good question, fellas. What are you up to? Who are you working for? Red team have the mid. Now it's up to blue team to push. Good little pushback by the red team there. Wait for the moment. Wait for the Seer Council to come in. Wraith Lords keeping the east side busy. And push back west. Sternguard Veteran is still level 1. Reg is down to 3 units now. Devastators, Tactical Marines and Sternguard Veterans. Does have a pretty scary force commander though. Well, lots of nice support. Maybe not scary in combat himself. But a Sacred Standard in his big mid fights could be huge. And it's not easy to deal with because if you kill him, the buff goes up. At least you can't use defend anymore if you kill him. This could be a massive fight brewing. Is this a singularity? I guess it is. Yes, it is. Very nicely hit. Can they follow it up with some damage here? Manticore strike as well. Well done, red team. Can the blue team start getting their land raiders and stuff up though? There's an orbital. I believe that is from Reg. And that could be very, very nasty. Those guys need to retreat. Caught in this, they need to retreat. That could wipe some squads. They did retreat just in time, I think. I believe Mahror lost a squad. He definitely lost his warp spiders. Did he lose a Dire Avenger squad as well? He lost a lot of models, if not. A nice nuke. Very good nuke from Reg. Just as the red team were pushing through, getting some confidence as well. Plague Marines, great capping unit. Under fire here. But there's a singularity. Can't cap through that. Well, it wasn't a singularity, just a regular shot, I think. Has that weird swirly effect now. Assault Terminator is on the field for Checkpoint. Thunderhammers and Storm Shields. But they are getting doomed here by the Doombringer. And had to teleport off. Plague Marines capping again. Force Commander lives. Maybe? No. Force Commander goes down. The other one is right here. Don't want to let him revive if they can help it. There's a nice singularity to stop that. Uh-oh. Direct hit on those Devastators. They do survive those somehow. No, they don't. I believe it was Lehman Russ. Maybe that singularity shot that finished them off. Chaos Terminators on the field now for YZ. Evenly pitched battle here. Well, it seems even on the field, but Reg is down to just 2 units here. Wraith Lord is going to be stunned. Singularity, sorry, the D cannon is setting up. They need more of those, I think. 353 to 179. Still a decent VP lead for the blue team. But red team are going to take the mid back. Might want to try and focus fire that Librarian. Takes away a lot of mobility from the Assault Terminators if you do. Here comes the Warlock to try and decap. Nope, he sees that there's tons of stuff on him. He's not going to try. Might have been able to try just for a decap, but would have been risky. Perhaps not worth it. Might have kept those guys distracted for a little while though. See Noise Marines constantly firing at this victory point here. Some sneakiness from the Stormtroopers to see what's going on. Might be time for the blue team to shift back over to the west side, do a double push on this victory point here, because there's not a whole lot to defend. And it's the Manticore. There's always the Manticore. He might need to do some Chaos Sorcerer trickery to get in on that Manticore with his Plague Marines maybe. Teleport after it and then use Warp. In fact, the Sorcerer's down, so he's not going to be doing any of that anytime soon. Doesn't have the red for Warp either, I don't think. Nope. 322-171. Bit of a standoff here. Red team perhaps not realizing the army advantage that they have. Reg going for a Land Raid Redeemer. There's a Time Field from the Farseer. And a Doom on the Terminators. The Terminators can't retreat. So they're going to be chased down here, I think. Everything's turning around. No, go after the Terminators. Oh, there's the teleport. Okay. Going to get in on this VP. But blue team again in on the mid. There's a singularity. It's going to go off before they cap for sure. They did get the decap though. That was painful. Spotters also there to disrupt if needed. Lehman Russ doing its thing. In a tank battle, you'd usually back a Lehman Russ. 302-171 on the VPs. D cannon is persuaded to leave, but not after doing some work. Can't quite get through to that victory point. But red team are having luck on the east side, doing the same thing. They could get a triple here. Not sure why nothing is capping mid. I guess they think there's like a Noise Marine or something pointing out. There we go. Rangers are attempting the cap. Could get a triple. Gonna at least get a double, I think. Red team just trying to keep them off the VP so they can finish that cap. Force Commander's in there. With his disruptive hammering ways. The Assault Marines persuaded to leave, but the Assault Terminators take up the mantle of the frontline unit. It's a hell of a frontline unit to have. Timefield though stops everything in its tracks. And they got the triple, 270 to 171. 100 VPs in it. Double Dark Creepers here for Mahror. In response to those Terminators, shoot the crap out of them. So you beat them. Don't see any... Oh, we do have Purgatus here for an Inquisitor. She's not really in the position to affect those Terminators though on this side of the map. There's that Land Raider. Are you going to turn into a Bright Lance? Nope. Doesn't look like it. I think he should get the Bright Lance up because this guy can give suppression immunity anyway. I think it's worth getting a Bright Lance and really punishing that Land Raider purchase quickly. Kicking off west side. Manticore strike. That's going to be nasty on those heretics. Would have. I think it might have one-shot them if they didn't retreat there, although they do have their aspiring champion now, so maybe not. Autocannon is up for the Terminators. What's going on the east side though? I hear the time field messing up the Land Raider. Force one is going to go down, definitely. Not sure what he's trying to do there. Librarian getting kind of close to the action too. But opening up an opportunity to cap the mid, but there's no one here to do it. D cannon now in range to get a shot or two. I think he got one shot off. Red team backing off, but here comes the Lehman Russ. Land Raider doing the right thing and backing away behind the army. It looks like... Is he retreating back to it? No. He hasn't set the retreat point on his own Land Raider there, Reg. Unless he intentionally unset it before retreating there to avoid that rocket run. 175, 171 on the VPs. Red team have pretty much evened it up here and looking pretty good. But CSM on capping. Now in melee combat with some stormtroopers who need to run the hell away from that. Inquisitor went down. Good Manticore strike again. Wow, such damage to those Terminators. Nothing to follow it up though, and they teleport away. Bunker going on. This Plasma Cannon Devastator squad is not going to have a good time. Got doomed. And now Red Team will take the mid back, I think. There's Demon Armor up. Decent capping tool. And he's able to get it. There's a single. What is this? Red Team right back on the Blue Team's natural though. Very frantic capping here. Rangers demolished. Lane Red is still around with half hit points. Bright Lance is in play, but there's a jump. Very, very vital jump, I think, from Checkpoint. And gets the Eldar out of there. This could be the end of this Wraith Lord, I think. That was a Melter. There's a tank chasing. There's a Assault Terminator chasing. Stone Guard veterans here as well if they need the help, but I don't think they will. Down it goes. Wraith Lord did well. Avatar of Cain on the way for Crog. 166, 160 on the VPs. Come mid, says Crog. Maybe he's talking to the Imperial Guard player. Defend doing some serious work there. Just walking through those Dark Creepers. But I didn't want to mess with the Manticore. And again, Reg is not retreating back to his own Land Raider. Very, very strange. Very, very odd. He might be doing that to prevent retreating back into a Eldritch, but then why have the Land Raider here? 145 to 160 on the VP's bunker going up on this west side. Either bunker, I think, would be very useful over here. There it is. Inquisitor doing some work with her Purgatus. And Inferno Pistol is up. Good damage to all targets from close range. It's going to be tough for YZ to push through here, I think. Terminators are coming back into play though. Good hit. Looks like it is... No, I don't think it's been upgraded yet, the bunker. Meanwhile, Land Raiders pushed all the way up. And here's an Avatar. And warp spiders. There's a haywire. Absolute chaos. Can they deal with the Land Raider right here, right now? Falcon, I think, needs to help out. Avatar is going to be amazing if this Avatar gets away. There's the Wrath of Cain. Takes so long to happen, that ability. Down he goes. Eldritch does hit the Land Raider. Is anything there to finish it off, though? It's a decent Eldritch, but the Avatar was taken down. And so were the Assault Marines. That was a doom on them, I think. Awesome fighting. Awesome fighting. 57 to 160. Double cap for red. Here's the Falcon to try and finish off the Land Raider. It's a level 4 Falcon and it's packing a punch. Land Raider is getting repairs. Grenade goes in. Falcon, I don't think, wants to chase, because there's a tank right there. And missile launcher, tactical marines. In fact, the Falcon might be chased down if it's not careful. Not much shield left, and rear armor hits. The Falcon's going to go down. Down it goes. That turned around pretty quickly. Land Raider lives. Yes, the Land Raider lives now, getting repairs as well. 47 to 158. Blue team have a 2 to 1. They've taken the west side. Bunker is down even. Terminator is proving to be a pain in the arse, I think, for E1. Inquisitor does have some tools to use against them. Purgatus into a Manticore strike would be incredibly painful for the Terminators. Fire Prism on the way for Krog. We also have some Kasrikin for E1. Could get some plasma guns up, do some work. Land Raider now almost back to like half hit points. But they're not bringing it mid, which is kind of surprising. I mean, why is it on the east side? I guess they want attacks from this direction. But if you're not going to even retreat back to it, what's the point? Look, Librarian's off again. None of them want to retreat back to the Land Raider. Oh, look at this very, very sneaky webway. From someone. Doesn't tell me who owns the webway gate, which is weird. I'm guessing it's Mahror on that side. Terminators on capping duty. Blue team could get a triple cap now. They really have dug in and got themselves back into this game. They were bleeding VPs for so long. And now it's a double. Now it's a triple. Is that enough for the blue team? Wow. Autocannon and Noise Marines tearing through those guardsmen. But here's a bunch of Eldar. Surprise, surprise. That's a very, very dead tank. Terminators teleport away. Now that is an assist from Mahror and a half. YZ still has plenty of stuff, but losing a tank is a big deal. Save my Terminators, he says. Are they being chased? No, not really. Mahror's coming to the mid. He knows he needs VPs up. 47 to 42. Devastator Plasma Cannon is going to be torn apart, I think. Terminator's running into trouble, really. It was a bit weird. And, wow. Having to warp out, I think, onto YZ. Yeah, there it is. There's that warp. This guy does have the demon armor, as we've seen. 41 to 35 on the VPs. It's so close. This webway could still be a big factor. What level are you, Mr. Forspawn? Level 7. We have a level 6 Warlock. Now has the Heart of Darkness. Enhance. Could help delete something. Land Raiders there, back to full health pretty much. Uh-oh, Lehman Russ getting too close to stuff. Even the Multi-Melter getting shots in, I think, there. Plague Marines trying to chase, but actually getting hit by a friendly fire. Lehman Russ is not out of trouble yet. And this is a medical bunker. So it's not going to help those vehicles. 17 to 35. Single cap for red. And here we see that webway doing some work. Or maybe it is Krogs. But he just used it anyway. You can use your allies' webways. These Dark Creepers need to run away, Mr. Mahror. There's a nice time field, 5 to 35 on the VP. So close. Doesn't stop you capping though. These Dark Creepers are still not fleeing. Just so much to try and keep track of for these players. Down go those Dark Creepers. And down goes something else. Was that Banshees? I think that was Dire Avengers there. Mahror just lost a lot of stuff. 3 VPs remaining for the blue team. They have the 2-1 now. Land Raider still in play. With a Manticore and double Eldar. It's amazing that this Land Raider is still alive. 3 to 24. Now it's the Warlock's turn to try and cap mid. But it's going to be so tough. There's double Noise Marines here doing their thing with Blastmasters. Mahror only has he has no units left. I think the blue team have this now. That last desperate push from the Eldar, perhaps knowing that they couldn't stand here and fight like the Space Marines can, has cost them, I think. It's a tough map for Eldar. If you don't hit those Eldritches and take out those big targets quickly, it can really snowball against you on this map as Eldar. They had the perfect ally. They had an Inquisitor ally, but she was preoccupied fighting the Sorcerer a lot of the time. I think maybe if she got a sail and came mid a bit more just by herself, put some pressure on those Terminators, that would have been pretty useful, but much easier said than done. There's an orbital right at the end and a Tzeentch nuke. Imperial Abyss from YZ. Single cap here is going to get it for blue, I think. Or is it? Yes, it is. Barely. 3 VPs remaining. One awesome 3v3. Sorcerer was level 6 at the end. We had a level 7 Force Commander with Reg, with this cool support loadout. Checkpoint level 8 with a classic hammer build. Only level 2 this Inquisitor. Level 7 Farseer had Runes of Reaping at the end, and a level 7 Warlock who I think had Heart of Darkness, Champion's Robe, and his Spear. Merciless Switchblade, I should say. But there you have it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.